Because of Zion Williamson, the 2019 NBA draft was one of the biggest, most anticipated drafts of the decade. When New Orleans selected him with their first overall pick, Pelicans fans went crazy. It wasn't just fans either. Look at how excited the Pelicans front office was when they first heard they were getting Zion. Celebrations like that were well deserved. I mean, getting Williamson signaled the end of the Anthony Davis era and the beginning of something that could potentially be special. Zion was supposed to be the next big thing. He had the same hype Wembanyama got. He was in line to be the future face of the NBA, and he was supposed to completely take over the league. Sadly, those sentiments have now become the ancient relics of the past. Because here we are, 4 years later, seeing videos on YouTube titled "De'Aaron Fox crossed up fat Zion Williamson 2 times in a row."
Hand off to Fox. Oh man, he blew by Williamson.
Sheesh, guys. Look at that again. Zion really had no chance there. I mean, when Fox was initially just within the three-point line, Zion was defending him from the elbow, and by the time Fox was at the rim, Zion was still at the elbow. Slow, fat, out of shape, whatever you want to call it, things don't look too good for Zion, and we're going to get into all of that here today. In the semifinals of the inaugural in-season tournament, Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans were going up against LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. It was a highly anticipated matchup and one that I circled on my calendar to watch. I mean, it's freaking Zion Williamson, for Pete's sake, going up against the king in an elimination game. It doesn't get any better than that. After years of being unable to see Zion play in the postseason because of injuries, this was finally his time to shine. This was his moment. This was the biggest game of his NBA career. But he looked out of shape. He looked overweight, and it was clear that he hadn't taken his conditioning seriously. And in this clip here, it showed. Look at Zion here, a 23-year-old trotting up the floor and getting beat in transition from a soon-to-be 39-year-old LeBron. That just shouldn't happen. I don't care if LeBron spends $2 million, $200 million, or even $10 billion a year on his body. I don't care if he injects himself with steroids and growth hormones before and after every game. There's no reason why a 23-year-old should be beaten by a 39-year-old in a foot race in any sport, especially when he has a head start. Am I right? Or am I right? Then, not only was he out of shape, but this here showed that he clearly hasn't been working on his game. I mean, look, Zion has the ball on the perimeter, and look where they're guarding him at. I see 4 Lakers all standing behind the free throw line, for Pete's sake. They're giving him the Ben Simmons treatment, which is crazy. But anyway, what was the result of this highly anticipated matchup? Well, look at the score, ladies and gentlemen, 66-99. It's a 33-point game with time left to spare in the third.
Bruh.
Now, don't get me wrong, bad beats sometimes happen. Sometimes the shots just don't fall, sometimes you just shoot 1 for 6 from the free throw line, but that wasn't the reason why fans and the media were frustrated with what they were seeing. It's one thing to have a bad game because it just wasn't your night, but it's an entirely different thing to have a bad game because of your work ethic off the court. And it was here where Zion was attacked by the media.
I saw the brother go to the free throw line. He looked like he had a belly. He looked like he had a belly. It is shameful. You got chefs in New Orleans. I'm not exaggerating. I'm quoting people. You got chefs in New Orleans who love him. They're looking for him. Every chef there wants to meet him because they know he'll show up to their restaurant. The word out on Zion Williamson is that he'll eat the table. I'm quoting. He'll eat the table.
He'll eat the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, that monologue by Stephen A. Smith is gonna be a classic. I mean, chefs are looking for him. He'll eat the table. Now, is Stephen A. Smith being just a plain hater, or does he have a point here? Well, from the images, Zion does look like he has a belly. Then there are multiple reports saying that Zion Williamson doesn't listen when Pelicans ask him to improve his diet and conditioning, that they want him to get in shape, but he just doesn't listen. So, it seems like Stephen A., although as harsh as ever, hits this right on the spot. One may ask, why doesn't Zion just listen? Why doesn't he just get his eating habits under control? Well, a few months ago, Gilbert Arenas actually asked him this exact question, and here was Zion's answer.
Is it hard to diet at your age?
Sheesh.
Be honest.
Since it's you, I'll be real. There are times when I will say that, man, that shit hard. It's hard, man. Like, you 20, 22, got a lot of money.
You feel like all the money in the world, man. It is hard, but
2022 with all the money in the world. Yeah, okay. I think we can all sympathize with him to a certain extent. I mean, we all love eating snacks and have all probably at one point in our lives been a little on the heavier side. But when it's your job that pays you millions of dollars to get in shape and get in peak condition, and you're not doing it, the media is going to say things like that.
His stomach and his going in two different directions. One going that way and the other going that way. Now you guess which one is which.
What I'm wondering now is, what's going on with his weight clause? We all know that he has that 295 weight limit, which could prevent him from getting his full contract. But how close is he to breaking that clause? I guess we'll find out soon, but at this point, ladies and gentlemen, the million-dollar question to ask is Zion Williamson on the same path as Ben Simmons? The similarities are striking. You see, before they entered the NBA, they were both being hyped up like crazy. Ben Simmons was labeled as LeBron James 2.0, while Zion Williamson was supposed to be the point guard version of Shaquille O'Neal. When they hit the hardwood courts of the league, they both played well too. Ben Simmons was a walking triple-double who became an all-star in just his second year, while Zion, in his second year, averaged just under 30 with incredible efficiency and also became an all-star. They both got enormous contracts, and while their paychecks increased, their skills did not. I mean, it's been years already, but as y'all saw, neither of them have a respectable jump shot yet, and because of their off-the-court habits, both are injury-prone to the point where they both have missed enormous amounts of games. One thing Zion does have over Simmons, however, is a passion for the game. He heard the criticisms from the Lakers game and stormed back to give the number 1 seeded Timberwolves a 36-point beating. But the truth is, if he doesn't control his passion for food, it won't matter. Only time will tell what'll become of Zion, but the fact of the matter is, in the NBA, if you want to stay on the court and win at the highest levels, you can't outwork a bad diet.